Okay, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Uh, yeah. So first, we'll start on the introduction part. So introduction, we'll see what exactly is SAP, why is it developed, who uses this SAP, ABAP is suitable for whom, and what kind of things that we do normally do in ABAP, etc. These kind of things. Like we'll be having many questions in our mind, I'm sure. Before coming to this session, as in why should I be choosing SAP over other software? Why should be I choosing ABAP over the other modules, etc., etc. things. So in this session, it's just going to be an introduction on what the purpose of us choosing SAP. So first, what is SAP? So SAP stands for System Application and Products. So this is a German company that is used to develop your enterprise. So enterprise is nothing but your business. So business in corporate world, it's called as an enterprise. So SAP itself is not a completely software company, but I would say this is a software integrated company which is used to develop your business. So here, instead of building applications like, for example, if we take any other softwares, like for example, take Python or Java. So these things are open source languages which are used to develop applications, mobile apps or web applications, etc. things. But whereas SAP is used to create reports, develop things that are necessary for a business module rather than an end user. For example, I'm a consumer, I'm an end user, I'm a normal person. I will not be using SAP. SAP will be used only by the business enterprises who wants to automate their process, right? That is the purpose of having the SAP in your company. Then, what are all the modules in SAP? So I'm pretty sure most of you might have heard about all the other modules as well before joining, coming to this session. So in general, we'll have two modules. So first is called as a functional module, then is a technical module. So these are in general categories of SAP. First, under functional, we'll have multiple categories. Again, in technical, we'll have multiple categories. So we'll not go in depth about each and every module here, but let's just briefly understand what every module does here. So let's start with SD, SAP SD. SD is nothing but SAP Sales and Distribution. So as the name suggests, sales and distribution, the people working under SAP SD will be taking care of the sales and distribution activities that are there in a company, right? So the product selling and all, like they'll be creating some sales orders, they'll be creating deliveries, etc., etc. So each and every activity that is related to selling a product is taken care by your sales and distribution team. Then we'll have MM is nothing but material management. So, for a company to work correctly, you should have end product and you should also have raw materials. So, everything that you manage in a company to create a product, every material that you use, that comes under the material management. Means how efficiently am I using my raw materials in the company, and what is the current stock in my company? Should I restock, or till up until when I don't need to restock my inventory? All these things will come under your material management. Then is the FICO. See, this is not in any order. I'm just telling you in a random order on how these functional things work. But when we look at the ERP architecture, as in enterprise resource architecture, I'll tell you exactly which functional area comes in first, which is second, which is third, etc., etc. I'll explain you the complete flow later on. But now let's just understand these modules. Then we'll have FICO or FICO. It's called finance and controlling. So this in general will be your last step of a business model. It will take care of all the accounting activities, ledger balancing, GL accounting, debit, credit, etc. things. So every activity that is related to your finance will be taken care by your FICO consultants. Then is a plant maintenance, PM. So each and every activity, a plant is nothing but a storage location where your products are being manufactured, or where your materials are being stored. So every activity that we do in these plants will be taken care by these plant management consultants. So we'll have other functional areas as well, like SAP is a huge ocean. Like we'll have at least 20 30 modules of functional team. For example, we'll have MDG, we'll have SCM, we'll have many more RTP, etc., things. But these things that I've highlighted here are mostly used modules in SAP when it comes to functional teams. So now let's move on to technical aspect of the SAP, wherein the first comes is ABAP. So ABAP is nothing but a coding language, which stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. So Advanced Business Application Programming is, in short, is ABAP. So in ABAP, so we are the technical team. We normally work in the background. We take the requirement from the functional team. Our responsibility is to build the reports that are used to forecast the sales, or depends, like the possibilities are unlimited, so we'll be getting requirements wherein we'll be creating a few PDF forms, etc. So like example, whenever we place any order on Amazon, we are placing an order on Amazon, so it will go through a certain step, correct? So once the order is placed, that's your sales order. After the order is placed, they'll ship it. That's comes to your SCM module. Once the shipping is done, it comes to your invoice. That will go to your finance and controlling. So at the end, you'll also be getting one invoice, correct? For the bill payment that you'll be doing, you'll be getting an invoice. So this invoice will be in the form of a Word document or a PDF file. So we ABAPers are responsible for creating such PDF files. So we are the people who designs these PDF forms. So that is called as a form. In general, in technical term, that is called as a form for us. Or if a user wants to see how much data or how much sales did I did in this last quarter, or in last 1 year, how much sales did I did, in that case they'll want you to build a report to extract the data from database. So we'll be building these reports to visualize that particular data in a systematic manner. So in general, these are our responsibilities, but yeah, going further, we'll see what else we'll do in ABAP. So then is your basis team. So under basis, these people are like the system administrators. So all your access related things, like system login access, your user IDs, your passwords, database management, system upgrades. So everything that is related to your database login, etc., admin accesses will be taken care by your basis team. Then BW team or analytics team. So this is called business warehousing team. BW stands for business warehousing. So this in this team, we'll have some DPTs, etc., etc. They are called as a process chains, which are used to perform few business activities. Again, not related to ABAP at all. Then we'll have BODS. So BODS is used to transfer the data from one system to another system. So BODS will come into picture only when we want to push some data from one database to another database. So that's in general about all the modules that are there in the SAP. So moving on to choosing benefits over other modules that are there in the market. So first, as we've seen, there are many things. Functionals there are functionals, and even in technicals we'll have many too. But what is that one reason? What is that one motivation for me to choose ABAP over other modules that are there in the SAP? So what will be the future? What exactly why should I choose ABAP? So first, let's see. If you see, in most of the projects, you'll have global clients. Now, what do I mean by global clients? You will be working from India, and your client could be from US, UK, anywhere around the world. So because of which, what happens is, normally, when any person from a project wants to connect with the client, they'll have to extend their shift, right? They'll have to work in hours that are not flexible for everyone. That could be night shift or extending your general shift to midnight. All these things will be there. So our benefit is that we will never connect with the clients. So a BAPer will never connect with the client. It is your functional teams who will connect with your clients always. So we, as I said earlier, we are the people who work from the back end. Right? For example, let's take an example of Amazon again. You've placed an order. You've paid the bill already. You did a prepaid billing for it. So it's been 10 days, but your order is not yet delivered. Right? In that case, what you'll do, you'll immediately call your customer support guys. So they'll pick your call. They will take your concern. They'll note down each and every point that you are going to tell them. Then they are going to tell you that we'll reach out to your technical team. We'll make sure that your issue is resolved ASAP as soon as possible. Correct. So this is in general customer support that you are gonna get everywhere throughout the world. Doesn't matter it's Amazon, Flipkart, be it anything. You're ordering something. This the thing is gonna be the same. Even your internet provider is gonna tell you the same. So here, the customer guy that who's gonna pick your calls is nothing but your functional team, and the technical guy that is there in the background, who's actively working on your tickets, is nothing but your ABAP person. So that is the reason you will never ever directly talk to the clients. So you don't need to extend your work hours beyond your uh, scheduled time to connect with a client or resolve their issue. It's not your responsibility to connect with them. Your functional team is going to connect with them, because of which you'll have more flexibility too. So that is one benefit of choosing ABAP over others. Then communication. As I said, global clients. So many at times, not everyone is perfect in communicating in English language, correct? And it's completely fine. Totally agree. You don't need to be perfect in English when it comes to ABAP, because you will never talk to the client. You will only talk to your regional teams, your manager, your functional teams, your lead, your colleagues, etc. Only these are the only people that you're going to communicate with. So in general, basically, you'll only communicate with your company people, the where you're working. You'll never communicate with your client, because of which you don't people don't expect you to have excellent communication skills, excellent manipulation skills, or English talking skills, or diplomatic skills, and all that. Those things are not required. So even if you're normal English language speaker, that's gonna work for to be an ABAPer. So that's the second benefit. Then system issues. So these are pretty common, wherein, let's say, many users are trying to access some database at the same time, or many users are trying to pull some data from the database, because of which there will be certain load on the system, and the system will behave abruptly, that it will get stuck there will be errors at times. So these things will happen during vague hours, like midnights or early mornings, or you cannot even forecast as in when a system issue is going to occur. So all the system issues will be taken care by your basis team. So your technical team again, even though basis is a technical team, they have this liability that they'll have to work 24 by 7. They'll always have to be ready. They'll never know when the system is going to have an issue, so they'll have to actively keep on monitoring things. They'll have to actively work 24 by 7 shift. We don't need to do that as an ABAPer. You don't need to do that. Then, compared to all the other teams, doesn't matter technical or functional, ABAP team will have a larger people, more people. I'll tell you exactly the reason when we discuss about the ERP architecture. But for now, understand that we'll have large team. The benefit of having a large team is because if you're having a doubt, if you're stuck at some point, you'll have many people who can help you out in understanding the issue or fixing that issue. Whereas that option is limited in terms of other modules. And when I say large team, you will also have a benefit that most of the openings that are there in the market are on ABAP, will be on ABAP uh, in future too. Like, doesn't matter, till SAP is there, ABAP will be there. Until ABAP is there, the openings are going to be the same. So you'll always have a larger team in comparison to your other uh, technical or functional teams. That is another benefit that you're going to get. Then is the flexibility. So because of all the concepts or all the benefits that we just saw, you will have more flexibility. What do I mean flexibility is, you don't need to connect with the clients, you don't need to work on the system issues, you don't need to be actively working 24 by 7, you don't need to talk fluent English, you don't need to worry about what happens if I'm stuck at something, if there is no one to help me, what would happen to me. Nothing. You can work under your own terms. You will be working offline. No one's gonna put a gun at you and say you have to complete this within 1 hour. Client is mad at you, etc., etc. All these things will not happen with your people. So these are all the benefits that you're gonna get when choosing ABAP over other modules. Now moving on. The next question comes in. SAP is suitable for who? So first, SAP functional consultants. If you are already working under any SAP functional area and you want to switch to a technical module, like for example, I'm a SD consultant, so I've been working under SD for a few years. Now I want to switch my career into ABAP. So in that case, you can get trained on ABAP. You will be a techno-functional guy in that case. So you'll be working under functional, you'll be working on technical. So a person who is trained in both technical module and a functional module is called as a techno-functional people. So if you wish to be a techno-functional people, you can come to ABAP. Then students and recent graduates, means if you just graduated from your college, doesn't matter what the graduation is. It could be a degree, it could be Bachelor of Technology, it could be MBA, it could be MCA, whatever the graduation is or post graduation. If you are looking for a stable software career, then ABAP is for you. So then we'll have career changes. So the most important one and probably the larger audience that we're gonna get during any training is the career changes. Like you will be working under some module now, like some non-technical module, but wish to have a more stable career ahead because of which you want to get into a software industry. So ABAP is suitable for even those people too. So let's say, I mean, is ABAP suitable only for the technical people? For example, because ABAP is a coding language, so is the prerequisite for learning ABAP is that I should be from a technical background? Should I be having a CSE or an IT background? The answer is absolutely no. You don't need to have any prerequisite for learning ABAP. To give you a personal experience, I myself am a mechanical graduate. Okay, I'm a core mechanical graduate. Before coming to SAP, I had zero knowledge about coding. I didn't even know what is C language before coming to SAP. But now it's been quite many years since I'm into ABAP, and I haven't seen back since I started working in ABAP. The reason being, SAP is a very easy language to learn. So I mean, ABAP is a very easy coding language to learn. It is independent, like compared to other softwares that are there in the market. This is a more easier language to learn. But yeah, you'll see that as we progress. Now, okay, fine. Now we understood why should I choose SAP over other modules, because SAP is an ERP architecture. You'll have more openings. There are no competitors for SAP in the market, because of which SAP is ruling the world since past 20 years. It is the number one ERP uh, ERP software provider for all the businesses out there. So that is the reason I'm choosing SAP. But again, from SAP, which module to choose, for which we've seen a few things earlier in the earlier slides. Now let's see why SAP ABAP is a better programming language than other competitive languages like C language, Python, R programming, etc. etc. So first and most important point is it has English-like coding pattern. That means if you are able to understand the English, if you are able to write in English, then you are an ABAPer. The reason being, we will not have any complicated syntaxes in ABAP. Like, for example, for people who have some knowledge in other coding languages, Python is known to be an easy language, but there is one problem in Python. So there is a concept called as indentation. It's fine if you are not aware of it, but I'm just telling for comparison. There is a concept of indentation. That means a space. For people who don't know what is indentation, it means a space. So if you are missing one space while writing your code in Python, your code will not work. You will have a ton of errors. You cannot even, like how will you identify one space from thousand lines of code? It's very, very hard to identify, right? So although Python is an easy language, there is a problem of indentation. You will never be perfect in indentation, honestly. But in ABAP, you don't have any problem with that. Even let's say on one place you'll have to give one space, but instead you give 10 spaces there. It's fine. ABAP is dynamic enough to understand those. So it will automatically create your spaces in the background, even if you are not, if you are, even if you are giving more spaces than intended. So that is one benefit. Then let's say in Java or jQueries, we'll have complicated syntaxes, like we'll have angular brackets, we'll have square brackets, flower brackets, slashes, semicolons, colons, many things. So which is rather confusing syntax. But ABAP, you will not use any of those things. So it's like writing in English only. For example, if I try to select any data from database, the code will be simple. Select this field from table into internal table. That's it. At the end, you will put a dot. Similar to what we do in uh, English while writing a sentence. At the end of a sentence, we'll write a full stop. We'll put a full stop, correct? So similarly here also, once you finish your line, you'll put a full stop. So that's the reason I'm saying if you are good at English, if you can just understand the English, if you know what talk and speak right in English, you are good to learn ABAP. Then integration with SAP systems. So earlier we've seen a point wherein to whom ABAP is suitable. I said SAP functional consultants, correct? So the reason I said is because SAP is a ocean. Like you have hundreds of modules here, like tens and hundreds of modules here, because of which you will have more flexibility to switch your career within ABAP, within SAP. So, like example, you first got into functional area. Now you wanted to come into ABAP. Or first, this is the first time you are learning ABAP. So you worked under ABAP. You worked for a few years, let's say 3 4 years. You worked under ABAP. Now you want to explore more options. You want to learn new things. Then in that case, you don't need to switch your career to a completely new software. In SAP itself, you have like many modules. Like we've just seen a few modules. You have many modules, so you can easily switch to that module. So that way you will be cross skilled, but also you'll be under the same uh, hut. That is your SAP. So you no need to completely get off from SAP. So this is the major benefit that you're gonna get in SAP. So you will be cross skilled, but yet you will be called a SAP personnel only instead of getting into looking at the new careers. That is due to the integration between our SAP systems or SAP modules. Then you'll have better opportunities due to flexibility. Better opportunities when I say you'll have more openings than any other person that is available in other modules. The reason being, each and every company might not have a few modules. For example, we have seen these many modules here. So not every company will have all these modules, all these functional modules, or all these technical modules, right? So few companies, depending on their business model will have the functional modules in it. So because of which the opportunities or the openings will become less or few in few companies. But since ABAP is a technical module, each and every company needs an ABAPer. You will have better opportunities too in the market compared to any other module. So you'll have better openings, you'll have more openings than any other module. And SAP community and support. So SAP community is nothing but it's a web platform or a, what do I tell you? Like it is a website that SAP has designed for its SAP consultants. That means, let's say if you're stuck at any given point of time, you know the syntax on how to write this or what's the use of it, but you don't exactly know the complete flow. For example, you want to create a report, right? You want to create a report, you know the flow, you've trained yourself in ABAP, but you're having some doubts on what should come first, what should come next, am I doing the correct thing or not, etc., etc. You'll be having these questions. So in that case, there is a uh, website called as SAP Community. So there, if you just go into Google, type SAP Community, you'll get it. So there will be thousands on lakhs of blogs. People have written millions of blogs over there. So you just need to go there and search key. Okay, let's say you are getting some error. For example, you are getting some error. Just copy your error from SAP, paste the same error in the SAP community. You will get hundreds of blocks because SAP has been there since past 30 40 years, right? And the error that you are gonna get now will not be a new error which people haven't seen from last 30 40 years. So people who have already faced this issue will have already placed a solution there. Like if you are getting this error, probably it is because of this reason. So please go back to your code and correct this piece of line of code or correct this, or you should use this naming convention to fix this. So the solutions are already pre-made in SAP community. So even if you are stuck at any given point of time, go to Google, go to SAP community, put in your query there, and you'll get a result. That makes coding a lot more easier than other competitive languages out there. Then, so what exactly are my responsibilities as an ABAP consultant, right? So, in general, I've divided these things into four categories. So, first is the requirement analysis. That means in the slide, benefits of choosing ABAP, I've told you a brief teaser on why ABAP is better than other clients. I've told you that your functional team will mostly connect with your uh, clients, correct? So that means it is the responsibility of the functional team to get you the requirement. For example, let's say you want to create a report. The user wants to have a report wherein they want to see the complete sales data from past 1 year. So they want to pitch in, they want to give the date as a selection criteria. So once they give the date, they should get all the data, like all the sales order numbers, invoice numbers that they did in the past 1 year. So for that purpose, first your client will reach out to your functional team, or your functional team will reach out to your client, vice versa. They'll take the requirement from the client. Your functional team will understand the client requirement first. Then they will prepare a detailed documentation for you people. Once they understand the requirement, they'll prepare a detailed documentation for you people to understand the requirement. So that is called as requirement analysis. So once they take that requirement, they'll give that requirement documented to you, and I'll explain you the whole requirement. Your functional team will explain you the whole requirement, not the client. Again, you'll only talk to your functional team. You'll never talk to your client. So your job is to understand their understand verbally what they're trying to say, and also go through the document that they will sharing you and understand the requirement from the document. That is nothing but your requirement analysis. Again, you just need to read the document and understand what they're saying. Easy requirement analysis. Then comes the development phase, wherein you understood the requirement. You feel like, okay, I can do this, this is feasible. Then you'll start your development. So all the things that you create, change, modify, etc. things comes under development. So you'll be developing few things. So I will not categorize these things yet on what you'll be developing. But every activity, everything that you create, change, delete, or modify will come under development. So once your development is completed, you'll then do the performance tuning. Means whatever I've developed, is it efficient enough? Is it optimum? There are thousand ways to do something, right? There are thousand ways to do something. You will just need to find the optimistic way of doing that. So that is called as performance tuning. So you'll tune your development so that it doesn't cause any issues once it's deployed. So that's basically your performance tuning. Then last phase is documentation. So initially you will be getting one document from your functional team that is there in normal language, like normal understandable language in functional terms. Right at the end, you will be preparing another document that is called as a technical document. In technical document, you will be mentioning the objects that you have created. For example, you've created a table. You'll mention the table name. You mention why is this table created, etc., etc. You created a program. You'll mention the program name, why is this program created, what is the use of this program, etc., etc. That's it. Simple documentation only. You'll be getting the templates from your team. As per the template, you will be creating your documentation. So this in general is the flow, or in general what you will be normally doing in as an ABAP consultant in any company, be it any company. These phases are going to be the same. First is your requirement analysis phase, then is your development phase. Then once you've completed your development, you will see if the thing that you have developed, is it performance, what is the performance of that, is it efficient enough to be deployed to production system or not. That is the third phase. Then finally is your documentation phase, wherein you will prepare your technical documents for the objects that you have created already. So this in general are all the responsibilities of an ABAP consultant. Now, let's look at the ERP architecture. So I've been talking about ERP many times throughout the session, right? So let's understand what is the ERP architecture. How is it how is it useful for us and all. For example, let's take example of a chocolate factory. Okay, so let's say this is a chocolate factory. Let's understand the process of chocolate factory by using which you can understand the concept of ERP. So for preparing of chocolates, what is the first step? First step will be procuring the materials. Procuring is nothing but buying or taking, harvesting materials. Like what are all the things required for making a chocolate? Cocoa beans, we'll need sugar, we'll have artificial flavors, etc., etc., all sweeteners and all. So that is your first step. So first step is nothing but your material procurement. Means you'll have to buy your materials. So that is procurement of materials. So when I say materials, what is the functional area that comes into mind? It's material management. So your material management team will take care of this. So procurement of raw materials means buying of raw materials, getting the raw materials to your company. These activities will be taken care by your material management guys. Then you have procured your materials. What is the next step of once you have procured your materials? You'll have to start your manufacturing process. You'll have to start processing your cocoa beans. You'll have to start melting it. You'll start have to start making dyes for it, etc., etc. So all these things are operations. Operations or MFG. So your manufacturing team or MFG team will take care of your uh, manufacturing activities like uh, from converting your product from a raw material to the final product. So this phase is being taken care by your MFG team. That nothing but your manufacturing team. This is again one module in SAP that is called as an MFG team. So then you've completed your material. So you have completed your product. You've processed your raw material. Now you have your final product. Then immediately you will not be selling your chocolates, right? So once it's completed, you'll have to store it somewhere before the order comes in. It's not like I've completed my manufacturing processes now. Immediately I'll be getting a huge order for 1 ton of chocolates. Not gonna happen, correct? So after manufacturing is done, it should be stored somewhere. So that is called as inventory. So that is your inventory management, right? Storing of your materials in one go down, or in technical term it's called as inventory. In layman terms it's called as a go down. So basically storing all your finished products in go down is nothing but your inventory management. So that is being taken care by your inventory people. Then you'll have order. So a consumer or a distributor will be placing a bulk order to you that okay, I'll need these many chocolates. So that is nothing but your sales. So you have sales order here. So this will be taken care by your SD consultant, right? Once your sales order is created, sorry, yes, okay. Once the sales order is created, you'll have to ship it. Yes, then comes your shipping. This will be taken care by your SEM team. SEM means supply chain management. So these people will be the logistics teams, like delivering things, moving things, shipping things will be taken care by your supply chain management team. So once it is shipped, then comes your delivery. Your delivery. This is again taken care by your SCM people only, because even delivery and shipping both are sort of the same. So delivery will be taken care by your SCM guys. So once it is delivered, what happens next? You'll have invoice, right? After the delivery only you'll be getting the invoice. Invoicing. Then once the invoice is created, you'll do the payment. So this is nothing but your accounting. Accounting is FI. Accounting is nothing but FICO. So this in general is a flow for a chocolate factory, or Take any product, for example, a mobile manufacturing company or a pencil manufacturing company, doesn't matter whatever the company is, this flow will remain the same, right? First step is I should get some materials. I should get all the raw materials. I should get all the things that are required to create my product. That is your procurement of materials, which comes under MM. Then operations means I'll have to put in machines, I'll have to put in labor, I'll have to put in people to manufacture my product, my final product. So that is your operations or MFG team, manufacturing team. Then is your inventory management. Means once I have completed my product, I'll have to store it somewhere. I'll have to store my product in a go down in an inventory until and unless I get a order. So that is your inventory management. So once I get an order, that is under sales order. Like if I'm getting a sales order, like I'll need 2000 kilos of chocolate to this particular location. Like that is your sales order. So which will be taken care by your SG team. So all the thing activities that are related to sales, right, will be taken care by will be taken care by your SG team. Then you will have shipping. Shipping means your order is placed, it's packed, it's in a truck or any means of transport, truck, plane, ship, anything. So you're shipping it. So all the shipping related activities or all the movement, logistics related activities will be taken care by your SCM team. Again, then delivery. Delivery is nothing but again shipping and delivery sort of the same. So will be taken care by our SCM team. Once the delivery is completed, it will go to invoicing. You will be getting an invoice that this is your bill, etc., etc. Please complete the payment. So after which you'll be completing the payment, which will go to accounting, that is FICO. So once the payment is completed and you receive your product, that's where the business model ends, right? So business has nothing to do with you. You have nothing to do with the business, with the person from you whom you bought it. So that's where your flow will end. So this in general is your complete flow of a business, also called as an ERP architecture. So this integrating all these things is nothing but your ERP. So the reason I said there is no competitor for SAP is because there is no software available in the market currently who can integrate all these modules into one. SAP did it. So that is the reason there is no competitor for SAP. So SAP is the sole and whole uh, service provider who can integrate all the business processes in a company. That is the reason SAP is a far more better option than choosing any other software that is available in the market currently. Okay, a few people might be confused till now. Like, okay, you have explained me the complete ERP architecture, but now I'm only seeing the benefit of choosing functional modules or over ABAP module because where is ABAP in this? Basically, there is every other module that we've just seen other than ABAP. So where is ABAP exactly? ABAP is in between all these modules. So doesn't matter if your company is having only procurement, if it's having only sales, if it's having only inventory, doesn't matter what kind of business model your client is having, you will always have an ABAP. So ABAP in between is used to integrate all these processes. So we are the people who integrate these things. So that's the reason, that's the benefit uh, of what I was showing you earlier in the earlier slides. I told you that we will have many openings. This is the reason. For example, let's say in procurement or MM team, I have two people. MFG, I have five people. Inventory one, sales order one, three, four, five, like that. I have multiple people in my multiple teams. So at any given point of time in any company, you will have times three of your functional teams. So, for example, the average consultant count or average working person count of all your functional modules is, let's say, three people. You will have times three of your ABAP team in that. That means if the average count is three, you'll have at least nine people in your ABAP team. You will have at least three times of what other functional teams is having in their teams, right? That is a benefit of choosing ABAP again over other SAP modules. You'll have better opportunities, easier to get a job because there are more opportunities. You will get more chance of getting the interviews and getting a job. That's the reason of That is the primary reason of choosing ABAP over other modules. And you're always on demand. ABAP person is always on demand because every module person will need an ABAP. For example, from material guy, he wants to see how many materials did I buy in the last quarter from this particular supplier, right? Like from example, take chocolate factory only. If you are purchasing sugar from Tata Sugar, so in that case, let's say you have multiple vendors. I'm purchasing from Tata Sugar. I'm purchasing from two other vendors also. So now you want to see only how many kilos of sugar did I purchase only from Tata, right? In that case, they'll come to ABAP only. They'll directly not able to see the data. The data is there in the database. They'll not able to directly see the data from the database. So they'll come to ABAP. They'll ask you to create a report. Please create a report for us. We want to visualize the data of how many materials did we like how many kgs of sugar did we purchase in the last quarter from Tata. So you will be creating a report for them. Similarly for all these other modules too. You want to see the sales information, they'll come to ABAP. Please create this for us. While invoicing, you will have to create your form. I told you, no, the invoice that you're gonna get at the end in the PDF format. That is in ABAP terminology or SAP terminology, it's called as a form. So you are the people who will be designing those forms. It's very easy. Designing a form is the most easiest thing, honestly. So that again, like these are all the benefits of choosing ABAP over other modules. Yeah, so this is pretty much what we've planned for today. Anyone having any doubts, please you can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat.
Hi, Sujit.
Yes,
Hi, my name is Vamsi.
hi Vamshi.
Hi. I pretty much missed the first part of your introduction because there's a problem with my laptop sound. So I just logged in again with my phone. So there's a couple of
Okay, you
questions.
missed
Not
the, okay, you missed my
uh,
introduction or you missed the introduction to ABAP.
your introduction as well. That's it. That's the only
Okay,
part.
okay, no problem. Because
So
anyhow, I'm gonna take you again, summarize everything that's been covered here. So it's fine. I'll introduce myself about.
no, okay, that's fine. So not technical questions, but just a quick question like, is the class every day? Like
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be there every day.
every day,
Saturday
and
and
how
Sunday are
many?
off.
Not Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah,
Okay. And how many total duration of this course?
it will be 3 to 3.5 months.
Oh, okay. And how much part for HANA?
Normally others might segregate these things into ABAP and HANA, but here everything that we do, like if, for example, if I'm telling you one concept in ABAP, normal ECC and how you do it, I'll tell you the same to do it in the HANA system too. So like pretty much
Uh,
50-50.
integrate. Okay.
Integrated one, yeah, because I'm not gonna segregate these things. You'll be getting confused. Okay, why is like for example, if I'm telling you one concept in ABAP now, like normal ECC now, at a later point
Yeah.
of time, let's say after 1 month, I'm telling you the same concept in HANA, you will forget this
No.
concept.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's from me. Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Vamshi. Anyone else?
yeah.
Hi, this is Vishnu.
Yeah. Hi, Vishnu.
Is there any chance to little bit adjustments in the timing?
Vishnu, you're not audible completely. Can you please speak louder?
Is there any chance to adjust the timings, like if others also comfort to do so?
Yeah, that
When
totally depends on the majority of the people here. Like, you can discuss offline the time that is suitable for you. We'll keep a poll. We'll see what is the time suitable for all the remaining people too. So we'll take the majority.
And hi, Vamsi again.
Hmm.
With, and
Yeah.
okay, I'm calling from Virginia actually, the Eastern Time zone
Hmm.
of US. So, is it going to be, if you can push it a little early, that would be much more better for me as we are discussing about timings. Vishnu also like was talking about. I don't know whether it's he wants it late or early, but this is a bit late for me. Like it's 10:30 here in the night.
Sure, sure. So we'll be taking the feedback from you anyhow, as in what time is suitable for each and every individual. So we'll try
Yeah,
to have a common time between everyone because it's not
yeah,
like
kind of
we can satisfy
consensus.
everyone, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I
So
know
yeah,
consensus.
we'll take the most suitable time that's gonna work for everyone.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, I see a ping in the chat. Okay, I'm an ABAP. Sorry, you are an MBA person in accounting and finance. You are okay. So basically, it's cool if you're taking FICO as well, SAP FICO, which is related to your accounting things. But one thing is, I should warn you, everything that is under finance is always in urgent, right? So, for example, let's say I placed an order of $1 million because that's how the transaction normally happens in terms of business, right? They are not gonna place 1,000 or 1 lakh order. They're gonna place like $1 million order at a time once. So if let's say my 1 million orders is stuck at any given point of time, so in that case, that will be your most priority thing that you'll have to fix. So each and every issue that is related to your business transaction, finance will be included for sure in it, right? So each and every issue that you're gonna get will be an urgent issue. So it's just that because you are having MBA, probably, I mean, if your background is finance, you might be able to understand finance easily rather than any other people because not everyone can understand the concept of ledger, balancing, accounting, P&L, etc., etc. things. You might have an edge over there, but please understand that everything that comes to your bucket will be an urgent. Everything that comes to you have to be fixed immediately. If it's midnight, if it's early in the morning, doesn't matter. You'll still have to log in and fix that issue. So that's the one liability that you'll have to take if you are choosing FICO. I hope I've answered your question. Uh, there's one more message. How will be the growth? Sorry, how will be the growth in ABAP or FICO? FICO. Okay. See, in FICO, if normally if you choose FICO, it's a functional module, right? So the expansion is quite limited to your thing only, to FICO only, because you cannot learn. I mean, by learning FICO, you cannot move to MM without getting trained in MM again, or you cannot move to SD without getting trained in SD again. So there is that one small gap wherein you can only be under one functional team at any given point of time. But when it comes to ABAP, you have multiple modules. Like first you can learn ABAP, then you can learn OOPS, then you can learn other concepts like you can learn OData, you can learn uh, Fiori, which is a front end development. So the possibility of you switching to other things from a technical perspective will make more sense to you rather than switching from one functional module to another functional module, right? So it doesn't matter if you're trained in three functional modules, you'll still be called as a functional consultant. But if you're trained in both functional and technical only, then you'll called as a techno-functional consultant. And if you're trained in both Fiori and ABAP, that is Fiori is nothing but your front-end development, which is very tricky. I should warn you because Fiori uses your CSS, jQuery, HTML, JSON, all these things. So Fiori is integrated with all these four concepts. So Fiori is completely for the people who are having tech background only. It's not intended for people who are not having any knowledge in other coding languages. So you'll have to mandatorily have these languages. But yes, if you are able to learn Fiori, you will be called as a front-end developer, sorry, full stack developer. So that's one possibility of you to, extend yourself. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your question. Okay, let's quickly summarize on what we've seen today. So first, we've seen what is SAP exactly. What does it do? It's an ERP software company which was created in Germany. The whole sole purpose of SAP is to create a more integrated ERP solution. ERP is nothing but enterprise resource platform. Enterprise is nothing but your business. Resource is nothing but everything that you're having in your company. For example, materials, machines, people working over there. Everything is called as a resource, termed as a resource. So plant. planning all your resources in an efficient manner is what SAP is. Then we have seen what are all the modules in SAP. In general, we had technical and functional. In functional, we have a few. In technical, we had a few. SD will take care of the sales and distribution. Material management or MM will take care of all the material related activities. FICO will take care of about the all the finance related activities. PM will take care about the plant related activities. Then under technical, we have seen ABAP that we are here for advanced business application programming. So here we'll be creating reports, we'll be creating forms, etc., things. We'll be integrating things. Then basis will have admin activities, wherein any things, any activity that are related to system management or login access, all these things will be taking in your basis team. Then you have your BW or analytics team, which are who are responsible for your business warehousing. Then you'll have your bots team. So bots, I wouldn't say it's there in many companies, very few. It's there in very few companies, wherein if you want to migrate your data from one database to another database, you want to do initial loads, full loads, etc. things, only then bots will come into picture. Then we've seen what are the benefits of choosing ABAP over other modules. First, because of the global clients, you don't need to work, you don't need to connect with your clients, you don't need to have excellent communication skills, you don't need to have excellent diplomatic skills when it comes to ABAP, because hardly you'll never talk to your client. Honestly, you'll never talk to your client. So that gives you an edge. You'll have a larger team, because of which there will always be people who, that can help you to come out of a critical situation. Then any system issue, you are not responsible for it. Your basis team will be taking care of all those things. And considering all these factors, you will have more flexibility in doing things, in making things short. Then SAP, we've seen to whom exactly is SAP ABAP suitable for. So if you are functional consultant who want to switch your career into ABAP to be called as a techno-functional consultant, then this is your stop. Then any students or recent graduates who want to pursue a career in software industry, SAP ABAP is for you people. And like as I said, you don't need to be from a technical background. I myself am from a mechanical background. I'm a mechanical graduate, so if I can do it, you can do it too, no problem. Then any career changes, like if you are working in some non-technical module currently, now you want to switch to a more stable career wherein you want to be in a software industry, get paid more, etc. things. So ABAP is for you. Then compared to other programming languages in the market, why should I choose SAP ABAP over those? First, easiest language over there. It doesn't depend on any other open source languages that are available in the market right now. Like for example, it doesn't depend on Java, it doesn't depend on Python, doesn't depend on SQL, etc. So it has a separate individual coding structure, because of which it makes more reliable for everyone to learn this code. So English is more like coding is more like English talking only. If you're able to talk, speak, write in English, you can be an developer. Simple. Then integration with SAP systems. That means you'll have more flexibility to get cross-skilled into other things. So first, if you're learning ABAP, see, one benefit of again learning ABAP is that since you will be working with all these people, uh, since you'll be working with all your functional team people, you will be having somewhat idea about how things work under all these business processes too. For example, if I'm sticking to only MM, like I'm an MM guy, I don't know what FICO is doing. I don't know what SCM is doing, because my thing is only confined towards MM or activities only. So if someone asks me to post an accounting document in the system, I can't do it. An MM person can't do it because they don't even know the T codes that are required to do it, right? But as an ABAPer, since you work with all these teams, you will have some basic knowledge or some basic flow knowledge on how things work in all these functional areas, across these functional areas. So it is easier for you to switch to a functional area. So it's actually a little tricky for a functional team to get into ABAP, but it's very easier for an ABAPer to get into functional team, because you're already aware of how things work over there, right? So that's one edge of taking ABAP. Then you'll have better opportunities due to its flexibility. Like I shown you the flexibility already, because of which you'll have more openings in the market. You'll definitely see better opportunities over there. Then finally, most important, SAP community. Like Any question at any given point of time, if you are stuck at any point of time, just need to go to Google, search in SAP community. You'll get a blog. Go over there. You can search anything over there. If you're getting an error, just search over there. You'll get tens of blogs on how to fix those errors. Then we have seen what are all the responsibilities of an ABAP consultant. First is the requirement analysis, then is the development, then performance tuning and documentation. Requirement analysis is nothing but verbal communication between you and your functional team, and also they'll be providing you a document. So your responsibility is to analyze the document that's given to you, then start your development. Once you complete your development, you will see if it's optimal enough to handle more load, like basically performance tuning. Then once it's tuned, if you feel like yeah, it's good, full-fledged, my development is completed, you will create a technical document of whatever that you have created or developed. Then we have seen the ERP architecture on how things work, how things are integrated in a business model, and the benefit again of choosing ABAP over other modules, because we are the people who integrate these business processes. So we'll work with each and every team here. We'll have more opportunities, we'll have more openings, etc., things, all these things which I've highlighted already. Okay. So since Vamshi